Whether you're a lifelong keeper or just getting started, help us encourage responsible keeping, conservation, and public education in the interest of keeping our reptiles safe and healthy as we protect them for future generations. You're invited to spend time with us as we experience these awesome animals together on Intrepid Exotics. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I've got a rambunctious girl right here who keeps trying to get out of the light and into little holes. Can't see them there. Little holes in the back of the chair. I've got to replace these chairs because every single time I get a snake up here, it's the first thing they do is they want to crawl into the holes. Oh, man. It's been a long day. It's been a long week. And the weekend's only partially over. Got a lot of stuff done today. Still got to feed everything tomorrow. So that will keep me busy. Hope everybody's been doing good this week. Let's see who we've got on here with us. Greg, how are you? Greg and Judd and Tam and Lorraine. Sam is here. Rocco, good to see you. Kai's just here to see us. So I would hope so. Ain't nobody tuning in to see this old crusty mug. Everybody's here for the snakes. I'm here for the snakes. What are you talking about? Hey, good evening. What else we got? Yeah, I just seen it. John had put a new video out today, and I need to watch that. I just scanned through it really quick as I was working on my other stuff here this evening. Me Mutter's here. Chris, good evening, sir. We have cool. Let's see what we got. Yeah, 28 folks on already. Outstanding. Good to see you, Donna. Uh-oh. Looks like my mother gets her 5.5-pound Pomeranian tomorrow. That will be cool. Quite certain she'll be happy about that. She's been looking forward to getting a pup for a long time. For those of you guys that don't know her, this is Athena. And I'm getting all of the time that I can with this girl because she started her growth spurt. And I remember what it was like with Monty when my 16-foot female retic, when she was a baby, had her out all the time. And then as she gets heavier and heavier, it gets harder and harder to sit down and do stuff like this with her. So I'm going to take advantage of all the time I've got with this little female berm because she just won't quit growing on me, and she's not going to quit for some time now. But she's such a sweetheart, ain't you? You finally going to calm down a little bit? She is going to be... I'm going to use her and Bob in a video probably tomorrow. It's been so busy this week, I haven't had time to do any recording or anything like that. But I did put out... A lot of you guys probably saw it. I had a question out on Facebook and on the YouTube community tab here, asking what people's opinions were about whether or not snakes had emotions. And although there's varying degrees of opinions, most people acknowledging, yeah, they're not the same as human emotions, blah, blah, all that stuff. Just about everybody that owns one is of the opinion that they have feelings, they're able to feel, they've got emotions. And I'm of that belief too. So tomorrow, hopefully if I can get around to it tomorrow, I should be able to make time. I'm going to put out a video on that. And I'm going to compare Bob's emotional state when I go into his enclosure to hers. It's night and day. It's a really clear distinction between what a relaxed, content snake is and what an edgy snake is. Because still when I go into Bob's, half the time, he hasn't struck at me in a while, but he still has a hog-nosed personality. He go in, he starts huffing and puffing, and it's like, leave me alone until he gets out, and then he's really happy. So That's gonna be the next video, I believe. Hey Jordan, how are you, sir? You guys done with the snow out there? Yeah. There's definitely something there. Rocco was saying the snakes definitely have some level of emotion. There's not a doubt in my mind. Just like I've said all along. I mean, anything that can feel fear can feel contentment, and those are both emotional frames of mind. I can speak tonight. I swear. This will be a fun one. All right. The snow's melting. Woohoo! Cool. It got up to 70 yesterday. A little bit cooler today. It's going to drop down into the 50s for the rest of the week, but wasn't too bad. Looks like most of our winter is over already. We may have another cold snap or two come through for a couple days, but I think we're just about good. Oh, where are we at? Would you work with me? See, she makes it so hard to keep up. It's always got to use two hands to keep her in one place. Hey, Megan, how you doing? Yeah, some of them can be a little bit spicy. Judd was saying he had one of his blue beauties take a shot at his upper lip. Yeah, I don't know if you guys had seen it earlier. I know I've got some folks up on my Facebook page here and stuff like that. I got a good video of Niles I'm going to put up here. This guy has been, he is getting so needy lately. I mean, he's getting to the point where when I come down there half the time, he'll come down and walk off of his basque down across his enclosure over to the door and start hanging out looking for me. You know, it's really good to see. But he has become, oh man, just tonight, he had me a little nervous. He likes his affection, but he can be pretty demanding. He's kind of like got that dominatrix attitude. He came up and he crawled up on me earlier today, and I was like, okay, well, we'll let you come up here a little bit. And as soon as he got up, he just wrapped all four of his legs around, wrapped his tail around to hang on. And I had a hell of a time getting him off of me. It's just so funny. He's got I don't know. He's just got a really demanding personality. He understands that it's his world down there. There's always a good video of him. I love going down interacting with him. And I've got to get him some better boards to climb on. I want to get some of the cuts off the outside of trees that are about 1.5 feet wide and put those in there so he's got a little bit more stuff to grip on. I put another board going up to his tub so that he could kind of walk up and down that, but he can't get a grip on it. He just slides. He'll be down there. If he crawls out of the tub onto that board, I'll hear him sliding down there. So. Oh, somebody else just came in. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Mr. Hill is here. How are you, sir? Laura made it. Nicole is here, and she got her U.S. ARC membership today. Outstanding. Yeah, I did want to go over the U.S. ARC stuff again tonight really quick. I think every Saturday I'm going to at the very least pull their website up and go over what the latest stuff is. So, yeah, tell me about it. Yeah. Laura was saying she had too many chores. I could so relate to that. I was sitting here about 6:30, 7 o'clock tonight going, man, I don't want to put pants on. I'm ready to go to bed. But I committed to doing every Saturday, whether I had anything important to say or not. So sometimes you guys just have to carry the conversation for me. Really? Looks like the camera froze up. Is the audio still working? Do. Fix this. I guess I could keep Niles up there. Oh, what's going on with the camera? Yeah, audio should stay good because the audio and camera work independently. Oh, but for some reason, I really think a lot of this has to do with heat management. I was having a little bit of an issue earlier. And I think things just get too hot back there. Where is the picture? Come on, Goober. Mm-hmm. Okay. There we go. We're unmuted. You get the logo talking. I broke everything. Let's see here. Let me turn on the Wi-Fi. We will do it like that instead. Hey, get off of there. Trying to set all this stuff up with the snake trying to get into stuff. All right. Let's turn this on. Oh, yeah. HDMI back to that. Do. So yeah, you guys will have to keep this stuff going in the chat while I'm focused on doing this. Come on, wakey. Come on, crazy snake. So I guess this is going to have to be my next thing now is to upgrade this video capture card. because apparently it gets a little warm in here and it decides to completely shut down. Come on, snake, get off of there. Really? Oh, let's try this one more again. Come on, get off of there. Sitting here trying to get this stuff done. I seen a big pink thing come across there. Laura gave me a video game for Card Fun. I do appreciate that. It is definitely that time. Oh, I wonder if it's too early or too late to get my refund on this one from Amazon. Yeah, and even worse than that, the Canon website that you've got to use to run the Wi-Fi through on this thing is you've got to purchase it. It's a subscription thing. It's like $5-6 a month or something like that. And that just came out of my account today or yesterday. And now when I went to hit the Wi-Fi, it said that I needed to upgrade. So they can't even keep their stuff organized on there. So I got to upgrade the program. And I'll keep up with this stuff. Okay. Close that. Close that. We're getting there. Yeah, I got to completely reinstall this stuff real quick. No, we'll manually restart later. Oh my God. Do. my God, this verify stuff is getting old. All right, I'm going to try this one more time. Oh my God. Haha. Backup camera to the rescue. Let's see if I can get this kind of situated a little bit. It's gonna look like doo-doo. On my little El Cheapo webcam can sit on top of this really expensive camera right here. I can't use because my capture card wants to go tits up. Oh my God. That can go down. That can probably go down. Okay. This thing's all lopsided. Come on. My God, I think we're good. So it didn't change my mic, did it? Good. Okay, cool. All right, we're back. Where'd the snake go? Seriously, where'd you go? What are you doing? Ah. She decided she wanted to take off now. Give me that. Okay. Right. She decided she just wanted to take off and do her own thing. Didn't she? Yeah, I gotta figure out what's going on with this stuff. I guess that's gonna be my project for tomorrow. Sit here and mess with this camera and find out if it's actually the capture card overheating or what. Such a shame just because I really don't like the way this webcam looks. But we're back. Yeah, we had some technical difficulties. For some reason, this camera is really intermittent. I'll plug in the capture card to the PC. Works just fine most of the time, but then there's days that it just decides to take a shit, and I can't figure out what exactly exactly the problem is. So, yeah, Sam says, now don't touch anything. Make sure I don't bump the desk. Oh yeah, this girl, and of course now we're on the webcam and it doesn't do her any justice at all. But I've had her since she was a baby. She's the sweetest animal in the house, hands down. No, Chloe's pretty close. Chloe's a close second. Oh yeah, I got the coffee. Always got the coffee. Had some backup tonight though. I always keep a case of water on hand, and I got hooked on those little singles that you put in there. So I've been drinking those things like mad. Okay. Where are we at? Okay. So now that I've got all of the technical stuff fixed, kinda, for the time being, what was I gonna do? I was going to go over the US ARC stuff really quick. See what's going on. I know Garrett and Phil put out a video not too long ago. I won't go through the whole video or nothing like that. But that's what it was. Yeah, let me put this up here. For those of you guys that aren't from, I know just about everybody in here that hangs out on my live streams and knows about US ARC. I know we've just gotten one new member here tonight. Thank you, Nicole. Anyway, if you guys don't already have a US ARC membership, get it. It's not going to break the bank by any stretch of the imagination. $40 a year for basic membership. We can all do it. And what is this one? This one right here, of course, I hadn't read a whole lot about this one either. Introduced, create a permit system for wildlife rehabilitators, educators, exhibitors, and researchers. If the bill passes, South Carolina DNR will then begin its rulemaking process to write the actual regulations. So, looks to me like US ARC Fish and Wildlife wants to get their dirty little fingers into educational programs and rehabilitation stuff and things that are really none of their business. So if I understand this correctly, okay. So anyway, read through this at your leisure. Like I said, it looks like they're wanting to initiate something that's going to put this on the table so that they can then start looking at it to start writing legislation about wildlife education, exhibition, stuff like that. Which is bad because that's that's kind of our thing up here in North Carolina, is doing the public education stuff in the summertime. We really have a great time with that. And this is the second state to do that. Washington State has got the animal program ban coming out too. That's what Garrett and Phil spent a lot of time talking about the other day. Of course, we're still working the Florida issue. There's some other stuff's come up in Florida too, that you can get on the USARK Florida site. Matter of fact, for those of you guys that haven't seen it, I'll pull it up real quick. USARK Florida. You guys can see the site up there. It's USARK Florida, usarkfl.wildapricot.org. So what do these guys have going on for the iguana ban? Top keepers. Okay. So it looks like that iguana ban's the bulk of the alerts that they've got going on. But we'll have folks from USARK and USARK Florida on here periodically just to go over this kind of stuff. Come on, girl. Work with me here. Let me drop this down. Don't worry, I ain't going to break it. Or maybe I will. We don't know. Definitely a possibility. And the snake is being crazy. Are you back in? She's back in the hole in the chair again. Come on. Sometimes they're just like 2-year-olds. But she's a pretty well-behaved 2-year-old. I get the biggest kick out of this girl almost every day. As soon as she sees me walking up to her door, she leans up halfway against the door. As soon as I open it up, she crawls out on me. Come on. Here you go, crazy. Ah. Oh, let's see. Where we at? There it is. Oh, we'll put this down. So that's what's going on with the USARK stuff. There's nothing new. All of the stuff that's already out there. You can look up. We've put out some videos on it. We definitely need everybody getting out and getting letters written. If you go to the USARK page, they have got everything you need to know on these alerts. Say, for instance, this Washington program ban there. Oh, let me put that back up there. If you go through here, it gives you the whole rundown of it. It tells you what laws are affected by all of this. So you can go in and you can read all of this stuff for yourself, get really familiarized with it. Tell you what you can do about sending letters, faxes, and emails, and phone calls, and so forth. Has the Senate bills here that you can go address directly. And then it even gives you a sample letter. So you can just take this sample letter, put your name in it, change up anything that you want to, kick it out to these committee members, and that's it. A couple minutes, doesn't take long at all. And if every keeper in the country does that and gets involved just a little bit, we'll get their attention and keep these stupid laws off the books. The animal education stuff is really a big one, because that's our biggest tool to fight a lot of these things. They ban us from going out and talking about these animals in public and allow them to be treated like there's some kind of freaking plague or monster or something like that. Being able to keep these animals is going to get tougher and tougher. Yeah, right, girl. Oh, where am I located? I am in North Carolina. And so far, we're pretty lucky. The reptile laws out here are pretty decent. Is that right? Yeah, Fish and Wildlife out here in North Carolina does pretty good. I can't complain at all. I've had to deal with them a couple times getting the Tegu permit set up for my Argentine black and white. They've always been really helpful. They've helped people rehome their animals to permitted people and stuff like that. So they're really cool out here. Plus, we got such a good relationship with the cities and the counties around here from going out and doing events with them. Really would like to see that continue. Here we go. Hey, Tyler just popped in. How you doing? Tyler decided to show up after all the technical difficulties are over. Oh. Come on. Stop doing craziness. Let's see. I must have missed a couple of remarks there, but yeah, Brian pointed out a couple people that are really good. Kevin McCurley with Nerd, Garrett Hartle, but Reach Out Reptiles, Bob Bledsoe is a good one. Of course, Ed and Emily out of Snake Discoverers are all really good guys to watch and keep up with. Yep, exactly. Pretty much hit the nail on the head. Those are really good people to pay attention to. That's what I like to see. Yeah, we definitely need to be getting all of this stuff addressed as much as we can. This should be a real interesting year. Should be a real interesting year from a lot of different perspectives. I don't know. I wonder if Sweden's open this time of year. Put in my citizenship package and I'll be for Swiss. Yeah, Lori Torini's another good one too. She's not really that well known, but she's really sharp. She does a lot of stuff with choice-based handling that you can learn a lot about her or learn a lot about. She does really good. Yep, Clint. I've got to get something scheduled with him. Had a friend of mine talk with him a couple weeks ago, and I've sent a couple emails out, but it takes Clint a little while to get around to his stuff. Want to do a collaboration of some sort. Prefer to do it on his channel so Intrepid can get a lot more exposure. So that would help greatly. I was suggesting that Clint have me on and we can talk about reticulated python handling and stuff like that. That would be really cool. Hey, sir, how you doing? We're still recovering from a bunch of technical difficulties. As you can tell, I had to revert back to my webcam because my capture card on my camera decided it wanted to go tits up tonight. Yeah, that was one really good thing, man. That whole series with the Sri Lankan python, when I first started it, I was like, well, it's going to be kind of redundant, but I'll, hand record every handling session and stuff like that. And a lot of people got a lot of really good stuff out of that, which was really, really cool to hear. says Clint stinking rad. Yeah. Yeah, that would be really cool. That would be really cool. We've had a really brief exchange in messages in reference to the Florida ecology. And it seems like he shares a lot of the same views I've got on the fact that it's probably pretty overblown and these snakes aren't quite the problem that Florida is making them out to be. But you're such a sweet girl. Are you finally going to chill out? You going to chill out and relax? Or what? Killer. It says killer Burmese pythons, so you see everybody fighting. They're vicious. You a straight cold-blooded killer, ain't you? It's really good to hear. Yeah, it was a lot of fun filming that with him. I'm definitely looking forward to being able to get another snake in that's equally hostile. That's a little bit bigger. Orient had a question there. What got me into the larger species? Just chance, really. I've always been fascinated with huge snakes, and after getting into them and starting to work with them, it just like everything else, man. It's like an infection that just spreads. You start with little snakes, and before you know it, you got big snakes all over the place, and they're I love them. I wouldn't trade my big reed ticks for nothing. They are great. Oh yeah. Over exaggerating with these snakes is what they do. Hey James, good to see you. Thanks, man. Yeah, I've got to get those guys on here one of these Saturdays. Get Lucas or Nathan or both of them on here. It'd be really cool to get them on and push their podcast out a little bit. Yeah. We'll be doing, I mean, man, I'll tell you what, it seems like everybody that is a content creator, whether they're full-time reptile people or part-time reptile people with a full-time job, we're all so busy. It gets so difficult to actually get lined up and get these things coordinated. It took us like 6 months before Nathan and I ever really got together to do the Retic Lounge. It was always, I'm free now. Okay, well, I'm not free then. I'm free at this time. And well, I'm not free at this time. We'll talk about it in a week. We'll talk about it in 2 weeks. 6 months later, we finally get around to doing it. Hopefully that'll change at some point, but I don't know. It's got some stuff that I can't really go into right now. There's some I'm kind of the mindset that I don't mention big moves until after they're done. And we've been talking about wanting to move into a bigger place, but there's some other stuff that's got some really good potential as to being hugely positive that we're working on too. So if you see a little bit of reduced content, it's because I'm spending a little bit of time working on other stuff and all stuff that's just going to pay dividends down the road. But as things transpire and solidify and all that cool stuff, I'll let you guys know. We've just got a lot of stuff going on here. So like I said, I'll still do my best to pump out at least a video a week on something, which is where y'all's suggestions all help out. Oh, let's see, what am I missing? Oh yeah. Yeah, we're all busy. I appreciate that. He was saying the videos are fantastic, and I was recommended after Brian's passing. Um, Sad as it was, but cool, man. Yeah, we're always trying to do new stuff and put out as much educational, informational stuff as we can. And these Saturday night live streams, some people get on, they spend all this time setting up collaborations with other people, and that's cool. If anybody wants to come on, man, it's an open door. All I gotta do is send me a message and come on, shoot the shit a little bit. But we've got a pretty good sized community here. And a lot of people we just touch base with every Saturday night, whether we've got anything to talk about or not. If anybody's got anything pertinent to bring up, or if you got any problems, questions, stuff like that, I just want to have like one time a week where I commit to being online from like 8 o'clock until whenever we get done. So sometimes it's an hour, sometimes it's 3 hours, just kind of depends on what's going on. And if anybody wants to collaborate and stuff like that, this is kind of one of them open door things where you just let me know and we do it. So, let's see. Where we at? Yeah. Woohoo. Jim, thank you so much. Yes. Don't forget, hit the like button. It's going to share my technical difficulties with the world. I think what we have that time, about 10, 15 minutes of dead air there. Oh man, Fax Machine says, thank you for your videos and your work with larger species. You're a hidden gem and clearly love my animals, man. Yeah, I am absolutely enthralled with these guys. It's kind of the whole reason that we started this channel, man, was to just help people have better relationships with their animals. And I caught a little bit of heat here the other day for and I think we talked about this a little bit last week too. Caught a little bit of heat because I was doing the industry a disservice by talking about how easy big constrictors are. And like I've said before, man, it's a double-edged sword. They can be very, very easy to work with, or they can be really, really hard to work with. And it all depends on the person and what kind of time you invest with them and stuff like that. I mean, it is so easy. I've got two 16-foot mainland retics down there. I've got a 6-foot Nile monitor, and they're just as easy to work with as anything else. I have zero concern of my big snakes biting me. And plus, I got the 13-foot male berm down there too. The boa imperator in there, who's probably 7 feet, maybe 6, 7 feet. But no shortage of bigger snakes here, and they're so easy. They really are. They're easy as pets. We put it in perspective. We've got a miniature pinscher here, and it is more difficult keeping up with her than it is keeping up with all of the snakes. So that's the side of it that I really like to emphasize for folks. But unfortunately, that remark did have some merit to it. It does, in a sense, do a little bit of a disservice because are you trying to stick your head in the hole again? What are you doing? Would you stop? Would you chill out? I'm trying to talk. I mean, you just quit. Here. She's such a brat. This is the only bad part about keeping snakes is they are like determined little children. And when they decide they want to go somewhere, and they don't care what the monkey's opinion is. Would you stop? Look at this? Come on, work with me here. No. You can't go back there. You gotta stay up here. I don't know. Maybe she's just trying to get out of the light or something. But I may end up putting her back because I can't even freaking speak with you up here raising hell. All right? Why can't you just relax? Right? Chill. She knows what I'm saying to her too. She pretends that she doesn't. Man. Oh, where are we at? Okay, let me make sure I'm not missing too much stuff. See, yeah. I'll tell you what. This is one thing that I've got to say about the people that have coalesced around Intrepid Exotics. You know, we're not huge by any stretch of the imagination, but we got such a solid group of people here. Just really good-natured folks, and you know, helpful, just here for the animals. Don't get any bickering back and forth or nothing like that. I would much rather have a smaller community that's peaceful than a huge one that you got to moderate people out of all the time. And yeah, that was a great way to come in. Facts. Now I've just got to learn what your name is, so I don't have to call you Fax Machine. Oh, where we at? Oh, let's see. You're certainly not imposing at all. No, Fax was talking about he loves to see the passion in the handling videos and stuff like that. And yeah, I only know one way to do it, and that's the way I do it. And it seems to help some folks, so it keeps me going, and I keep making new videos about it. And I know some of the stuff can get redundant. I will never be the entertainer that Brian was, but you never know as the situation improves and we start getting bigger and moving on to bigger and better places and stuff like that. We might have some of the vlog content type stuff. Or I may be able to find somebody to follow me around with a camera while I'm building things and all that other stuff. It's just a matter of time. And effort. We're getting there though, slowly but surely. The summer should be really interesting. Should have some major questions answered this spring as to which direction we're going to be able to go and what we can find and all that. But we will see. It's just a matter of time. I'm just a firm believer that you keep doing the right thing, you keep your shoulder down and keep pushing forward, and you get there sooner or later. Oh, I feel like I'm missing half of this comment that Greg was talking about. If you can read their behavior, they're easy to work with, but you have to respect them. Yep. You even got to respect the little ones that can't hurt you, because that's how they learn to trust you, and they stay that way when they get bigger. And yeah, another thing that I've been known to do too, just kind of depends on who the person is, what their questions are, and stuff like that. There's times that I'll get on and I'll do like video chats with people where if they've got a snake and they just can't seem to figure out what's going on with it, I'll have somebody holding the camera for them while they're interacting with the snake. That way I can watch it in real time and see how the snake's reacting and try to read its body language and help the person know what to do. You know, sometimes it just little tweaks like that you need in your handling and stuff. Because one thing that I've seen a lot is people will get really timid if their snake's starting to look a little defensive. And you know, if you've got a defensive snake in an enclosure, it's just sitting there squaring off with you. It can be pretty intimidating for a newer keeper or somebody that's experiencing that for the first time. So, you know, being able to sit there on the video and show them how to make them run, and then tell them when the opportune time is to go. Okay, they're running now. Go ahead and go in and grab them, and to just get them out of there and get them moving. And just little stuff like that really helps a lot. It helps boost people's confidence and stuff like that. But yeah, I need to get Bob out. I think he's in his hide still. I think I'm going to. Let's see. Let me see what Bob's going to be doing. All right, girl. You should be ready for a nap as much running around as you did. No, you got to go home. That's a good girl. Now she's giving me the guilt trip. She's just sitting there with her nose against the glass looking at me. Hey, bud. Yeah, I'm coming to get you. Hey, they wanted to see you, so you can blame them. Come on, bud. Come on. This hide is just too big. Ah. Poor guy. He's such a trooper. Let me drag his house around like that. It's okay, bud. It's okay. I know. He was all cozy. He was cozy. He's really not too happy about being out, as I'm sure you can tell. Come on. Here you go, bud. Come on. Come on. There you go. See, it's your favorite microphone. Somebody's all nice and warm. So yeah, this is the infamous Bob. He's let me know that he doesn't want to be messed with, and now he's just going to sit there and chill out because he's a good boy. He hasn't struck at me in a while. It's been quite a while. It hasn't musked on me or anything like that anymore. So. Dude, yeah, me and my animal that Jordan was talking about, how he talks to all his animals the same way. Yeah. I talk to my animals more than I talk to my coworkers. And that's not even joking. Oh, relax. Is that man, I'm getting way back here behind on the remarks. There was one. It's my oldest animal. My oldest animal should be my male retic, who should be about 11 years old by now, between 11 and 12. And a 16-foot male, which is fairly rare. I've not seen a male retic that big before. They typically are a lot smaller than that. Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm telling you, man, I've got to get rid of some of that gut because it gets difficult lugging these animals around in the summertime. So I'm working on getting myself trimmed back down a little bit. It's kind of slowly up and down with the holidays and all that, but we got to fix it. You know, it was funny because here last summer, I weighed as much as I did in my 30s carrying a fully loaded rucksack and wonder why my knees hurt. So, yeah, guys, we're talking about um, getting nervous when first handling snakes. Or Rocco was talking about his boa. Boas make a lot of people nervous because they just always look like they're getting ready to fight. They're a little bit harder to read than a retics, but even my boa in there, he's just all of my animals. I'm even getting Bob that way, slowly but surely. They all come around in time. I don't really worry too much about him biting me anymore when I go in and get him out. He'll huff and puff. He's kind of like my big hog nose now, is what I call him, because he does the same thing my little female hog nose does. It just sits there, yells at me for a second, and then once he gets out, you can see he's all chill. Ain't that right, buddy? You're being a good snake, whether you want to or not. You get huffy. Now say something. You can say something to the world right now. I can't translate, but you can say it. Maybe somebody will understand you. Oh yeah, yeah. For those of you guys that were keeping up, I went about 5 months without this snake right here eating on his own. And as of what, a month ago? How long did it take you to start eating? Was it 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago? You're a shitty co-host. But yeah, he's been eating like a champ for 3 or 4 weeks now. So once he started slamming food, he'll take everything that I put in front of him. So that makes me really happy. I had to assist feed him twice in that 5 months just to kind of keep him on point and make sure he wasn't getting malnourished or anything. Because when I got him, it was really thick and really healthy, and I wanted to make sure that he stayed that way. So he did lose a little bit of weight over that time, but like I said, I got some pretty good sized meals in him twice over that period of time. And now, as of about a month ago, he's just been slamming food on his own. And he's even starting to get to the point where when he's sitting there looking at me through the glass, he'll do those same long tongue flicks and start moving up towards the glass. It's like he wants to trust me and wants to hang out. But then as soon as I open it up, he starts hissing again, starts hiding. I think it's been maybe 1 or 2 times I've got him out really quietly and peaceful. But even still, as long as he's not striking at me and he chills out really quick, that's all. I can still respect him being grumpy about being moved and messed with and all that stuff because I get grumpy when I get moved and messed with, so I get it. What are you doing? Really? There you go. Just don't bite me in the head again. Mm. Hey, Lucas. How you doing? No, you got a pair of Sri Lankans coming soon, huh? Hey, man. Good to see you. Yeah, we was just talking about you guys, man. One of the guys was saying earlier in the show that there was um, happy to see us finally collaborating on stuff. And I proceeded to tell him how it took us like 6 months to make it happen because our schedules are always so crazy. And then, of course, you missed the technical difficulties where I had to go back to my webcam for a while because for some reason my capture card decided to go tits up tonight. So we had black screen for a bit. Let's see. James, did I notice you jumping in earlier? I think I might have. I don't like missing people if I can avoid it. Yeah, right. Hey, man, we all need one. Oh, see, here I go trying to catch up with comments again. See, Nate and Lucas got the right idea because they got two folks. One guy can sit there and bump their gums, and one guy can keep up with the comments and stuff. I've really got to teach my snakes to either read or talk, one of the two. I guess they really would need to know how to talk either way, but come on, chill out. Uh, oh, here he goes. Y'all gonna see me get asphyxiated. He's gonna knock me out now. Week 4 of a cabbage soup diet. Yeah. See, that's my whole problem. I've got zero food self-control because I'm used to in my younger days, I burned so many calories. All I did was shovel food down my neck. And when my activity level went down, I still like to eat. And that's just a bad combination. Tara wants me to give Bob a kiss on the nose. I might give Bob a kiss on the nose. I'm going to wait for him to wear himself out a little bit. Because he's the only snake I've got that I know will bite me in the face because he bit me in the face on a live stream. Of course, it really wasn't that bad. What you doing, bud? He's just hanging out down there. He wants to be out of the lights. It's getting so bad. Da-da-da-da. Yeah. I hate assist feeding. I really do. I mean, it's not terribly difficult, but I'm just always so paranoid of injuring my animals anyway. It's just, I'm always on edge when I'm doing it. And the crazy thing about it is you would think that assist feeding a snake, necking it, having to control its body like that and imposing on it the way you do when you're force feeding it, you think it would make that animal terrified of you. But I don't know, there's something about the whole experience they seem to understand because I've not had it especially with Athena, as long as I had to force feed her before she started eating. She just the sweetest damn animal on the planet. Not the least bit afraid of me. Hey, Steve, how are you doing? Megan says we need Silent Bob merch, huh? Well, see, I need to start doing some stuff like that because when we was naming Jay and Silent Bob, Ruth kept reminding me, they're like, now hashtag Silent Bob and Jay and everything. So that way maybe they'll see it. So see if we can get there. I don't even remember Silent Bob's friggin' name. I should, but I don't. But whoever that fella is, yeah, he's supposed to see it and do right and make you famous. Make you famous, Somebody said I'm supposed to kiss you on the nose. You gonna kiss me on the nose or what? You can do it. Yeah, he's a straight killer. Yeah, that is one thing that I've been talking about for a while, and I just haven't had time. I do want to start doing some different like t-shirt designs and some still cool stuff. Like nerds got their hands for dinner shirt that I've already worn out, and I need to get another one up. But I'd like to start doing some stuff like that. Tara was saying, love to hear me talk about assist feeding. Well, this is my take on assist feeding. Last resort, of course. See, this is one of the things about it is assist feeding is used just to keep your animal healthy. And you space it out as far as you can. So, like what I was doing with Bob is I would give him about 2 months. I'd offer him food, and I'd just keep an eye on him. Bearing in mind that snakes are designed to go extended periods without eating. And then I would finally decide to, after about 2 months, I force fed him a really, really good sized meal. And made sure it was a little wet, not dripping, because you don't want to get them completely saturated to where, it might get down in their trachea while they're trying to eat and stuff like that. But it can be really difficult, man. I mean, with him, I was holding him by the neck and trying to keep his body straight. And a lot of times what you do is you kind of go in increments. You'll go in and you'll just get it in front of their mouth and see if you can get their teeth in it, and then leave and see if they're going to start tracking it down on their own. If they don't, then you've got to go down a little bit further. A lot of times what they do is they'll just writhe around and they'll spit it right back up. So, like in his case, that's what he would do. If I didn't get the prey at him all the way down to where there was nothing but maybe half the tail sticking out and start massaging it down his neck a little bit, he'd just turn around and spit it right back out. So, I had to do that. I had to get the thing all the way down. So you're literally pushing down, to where you can't see the thing anymore, down his throat. And you just set him down in his enclosure and let him, sooner or later, as he starts moving around, that thing's naturally going to start working its way down into his stomach. And then, give it another week or two and try and feed normally again. If they don't take it, just let them go. Try the next week, and then give it a reasonable amount of time. Like I said, with him, I was giving him 2 months, and did it again. And then it was 2 weeks, something like that. About 2 weeks later, he went ahead and just took it. So, and then he's been eating like a champ ever since. But when you do it, you got to give him an opportunity to get hungry too. So, nice. That's awesome. Yeah, it's great that first time you see them start eating on their own, man. Because assist feeding, you're like, oh my God, I've got a problem child. I hope he makes it. And yeah, before you know it, man, they'll be eating on their own. I was really, really excited when Bob finally took his. Man, that's way too nice of you to say. I will tell you, it's just a lot of practice from the military. A lot of times getting done with work on a Friday or something like that and having the CO come up and say, hey man, do you know anything about this? No. Well, learn it over the weekend because you're giving a class on it Monday. Would you chill, shithead? Really? Here, go ahead and tell everybody what you're gonna do. Come on. You freaking act like you're gonna bite me in the face again. Yeah, that's it. Kevin Smith. I don't know why I brain farted on that. How's it going, Jen? You come in and save the day. Yeah, I need to start making sure I keep hashtagging the Jay and Silent Bob with Jay and Silent Bob here. So maybe they'll have their snake counterparts on their podcast one of these days and make them famouser. Alex is asking what I think of Clint Laidlaw. Clint's freaking rad, man. Matter of fact, I'm trying to do a collaboration with him. Either talking about big constrictors or maybe just having some science talk about evolution or some ecological talk about Florida and stuff like that. But yeah, Clint's an awesome dude. One thing I really like about Clint, and a friend of ours, Greg, was just out there not too long ago. And he said him and Clint talked for about 45 minutes about different stuff and Intrepid and us doing a collaboration together. But one thing I think is really cool that Clint does is, it's my understanding that he doesn't put names of the animals on any of the cages. He expects people to ask him or ask people about it that are there, just to start the conversations, just to get people talking about the animals, which is really cool. So, yeah, Clint rocks, man. We love Clint. As a matter of fact, one of these days, and I know I've been talking about this now probably for about 6 friggin' months, I need to get in with the every time a super chat comes through, I want to have Clint pop up out of the side of the screen yelling super chat, because he does it really good. He's got the best super chat call of anybody. So I want to steal it and use it in my videos. Yeah. Oh, let me see. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. See, the only thing about him right now, though, is he looks happy, but he's still kind of edgy. Every now and then, if I move just right, he'll start hissing at me and getting all mouthy. But for the most part, he's a pretty good boy. Yeah, right, bud. You show everybody I pat your head, huh? You pat your head. At least he's resigned himself to the fact that I'm not going to eat him. All right, Jim, if you haven't left already, man, we'll see you later, buddy. Good to see you. Where we at? Where we at? Yeah. Yeah, this is a friend of mine that goes out to his place. Greg's from Utah as well. But yeah, I really need to make my way out there one of these days. What level do I think Argentine black and white tegu is? They're pretty easy for the most part. The trickiest part is if you're going to be brumating them. That can be a little rough sometimes. Some people brumate them, some people don't. I've heard different things. I've heard that brumating's risky if you don't need to do it. I've heard not brumating disrupts their natural cycles if you don't do it. So there's a lot of discussion on both sides of it. But for the most part, they're easy with the caveat of they've got really incredibly strong jaws and nasty teeth. So if you do mess up, if your animal's got a bit of a bitter disposition and you don't get along with it really well, an Argentine black and white tegu will hurt you, especially a male, man, and big muscular jowls of theirs. And they get a little bit bigger, they'll put a hurting on you. So you do have to know what you're doing, how to work with them, how to socialize them. You got to spend time with them, making sure they're comfortable with you. And it's just like anything else, man. I mean, it's just like working with the retics. If you spend the time, if you do things right, and you make sure you've got the proper precautions in place, they're the easiest animals in the world to work with. But just like anything, you can make mistakes with it. Hey, Jenny, you made it. This is Handsome Bob, and he's just hanging out, chilling with us tonight. Oh, that must actually be Betty sitting in. Every time I see that, it's always Greg. So I always say Greg. So Bob does look great. Bob's eating on his own. He's a chow hound, and he's just slamming food now. After 5 months and 2 force feedings, he has finally decided he wants to tackle everything that gets in his face. And he even gets along with the microphone now. So. All right. Woohoo. Thank you so much, sir. I do appreciate that. There's a lot of food that goes through this house. And see, this is an ideal time where I wish I had the Clint popping out the side of the screen. Super chat. It's going to happen. I swear. I'm going to get it done. We just get so busy with stuff around here, man. Between the day job stuff and all the animal stuff. Yeah, right. I'm spending time with you, making you friendly, making you a happy snake. Or making you a happy boy whether you want to or not. I really can't wait to watch this guy get big. And it's kind of a bummer that we're on the webcam now instead of the actual camera. I will definitely start working on that tomorrow. But this guy has just got the fattest muscles on the back of his head. And I know it doesn't do it justice on here, but you might actually be able to see. I don't know. My fingers are going to be in the way. See, you can see these things depress when I press on his head. There we go. There we go. I mean, it's like his friggin' head swollen. These muscles are just, you can kind of see how freaking massive they are. I mean, he got a lot of practice with them the first month or so that I had him, of course. But yeah, I can't wait until he gets mature. That is going to be one fat-headed snake. Probably going to be shaped a lot like a carpet python by the time he matures. All righty, Kai. You have a good one, bud. Tara says she's working with her Tegu every chance you get. Yep, that's a good one to spend a lot of time with. Just like the Nile monitor. Niles is a really good one for me to spend a lot of time. Dude, whether you get a dwarf or a mainland retic, once you do, that's going to be your new favorite animal. I mean, just about all of us that keep retics, there's something different about them. And it doesn't take long for them to become your favorite animal. Talk about Clint's. I did see. I don't remember Clint's video on the Burmese python. I've got 2 of Clint's videos that I really like. I really like the one that he did on reticulated pythons, and I don't remember the fella that he had on, but he had like 18, 20 footer out there. That was really good, and I really like the one that he did on Nile monitors too. Of course, because those are both species that I've got. But my favorite Clint line of all time is that if you're watching this video to determine if a Nile monitor is the right pet lizard for you, it definitely, without a doubt, certainly is not. I like the way he phrases that, because there are some species that you really need to be mentored into, and they can be really difficult. I mean, some people have got an aptitude for just learning things. Like they can watch a video on something. This is how you do it. These are the considerations. They can go implement it and they're good to go. But as with anything that has any level of risk to it at all, it's always better to be mentored into it if you can. Dun, dun, dun. I think I'm almost caught back up. Hey, what state are you in where tegus are illegal? I'll have to be making sure you're posting updates so we can see. Erica's saying she's taking her first shot at breeding boas this year. I may start breeding when we get set up in the new place. We've got more space. There's no way I could even make room for a incubator or anything here right now. It just wouldn't happen. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll be able to get him out to him. He'll be able to come out to educational events with us. Not a doubt in my mind. The only one that I'm really on the fence of my animals, well, one, my tegu really doesn't like people. She'll come out and she'll tolerate hanging out and stuff like that, but she kind of likes doing her own thing. She gets kind of tweaked out by new environments. And Niles, I really wish he was trustworthy enough to take out to those events, but there's no way. There's no way. The monitor lizards, I've really got to lean right now on Aubrey and Cody to bring theirs out to the educational events, because they have got some just amazing monitor lizards who will sit on a log all day long. You don't have to chase them. You don't have to do nothing. They just hang out and they watch and they play with the kids and lick everybody and stuff like that. They're just amazing friggin' animals. So I've got to lean on them for the monitor lizards, because I don't think anytime soon Niles is going to be ready for that. But when we get moved and I get a chance to build another monitor enclosure, I want to put an Asian water monitor in there instead of a Nile monitor, and I want to have this one really well socialized so that I can take it out and do educational stuff with them. Tyler's talking about how he's got a decent collection of venomous snakes and he's still not into lizards because they're intimidating. Niles still intimidates me, man. Like I said earlier today, I was in the enclosure with him and he tried crawling up my arm. And so I let him crawl and I picked him up. And then all of a sudden, he just got really serious about hanging on. And when he wraps his tail around you to hang on, it's about the same as my boa constrictor in there hanging on. It's just his tail. I mean, it's a freaking muscle about this big around at the base. And when he wraps that thing around you, it's just like, okay. And you just sit there and hope that he's in a good mood and he doesn't want to bite you because he's got 20-inch long claws all dug in all over the place and that tail. And he's like, oh, please be in a good mood. But yeah, monitor lizards are a lot more difficult to keep up with a lot of times than snakes are as far as reading their state of mind. My snakes are real easy. Once their food response is shut down, they come out, they're fine. I never got to worry about them. Not once do I ever worry about my snake turning around biting me. Niles, on the other hand, I can go in and he looks like he's chill, and I'll sit with him and I'll start watching for them tongue flicks and watching for him riding the side of his mouth with his tongue when he looks. And then all of a sudden he goes from there just like a bird. Just automatically he changes his frame of mind, goes on point. The tongue stops moving, and he's just they're more difficult to read. And when they get big, the stakes are a lot higher because he gets a hold of me and starts going nuts. It's gonna hurt. Yeah, that Nile monitor quote's pretty good. I like that. Oh, nice. I am in North Carolina as well. You, I don't know. I just renewed my Tegu permit out here. The RGT black and white Tegus in North Carolina, you got to have a restricted permits or restricted species permit. I don't know if they're still available, but catch me on Facebook if you want, and message me on there. I mean, I've got the contact information for everybody down at Fish and Wildlife out here in North Carolina. So if there's anything I could do to help you get permitted for them, then I will definitely do so. I can't think of an animal. Alex was asking if there was an animal I'd like to see Clint review. I can't think of one I haven't seen him review. He even reviewed kids, human kids. So. Really, bud? Okay. I'm going to let him go home and relax. Here you go, bud. And I'm going to hold the chat right there. If you guys hold down the fort for about 2-3 minutes, I'll be right back. let's see. Okay. So I was going to maybe get Chloe out, but she's starting to go into shed. I'm going to kind of leave her alone. Let her chill out. She needs to get a couple sheds out of the way, because before I changed her enclosures, she got a big old like scab on the top of her head and one on each of the bottom of her jaws from getting in between the panes of glass. So yeah. If I started to breed, what species would I breed? I'm not sure. I think the only thing that I would ever start breeding is I may, depending on how things work out, how quickly we can get into a new place and all that stuff. Once I get set up where I've got space to actually move and work and set up new stuff, I may start doing conservation breeding. I think that's important. Getting endangered species permits, things like that, and seeing if I can start up breeding programs for any species that are on the endangered list. That's what I would do. I would breed for the purposes of rehabilitating species instead of just selling them. Yeah, not to knock breeders. I've got some friends that are breeders that are great guys, and we need snake breeders and we need lizard breeders, and those are awesome folks that are going to help perpetuate the hobby and perpetuate species and stuff like that. But me personally, here, I'm not going to use that nasty white cup in here. But so yeah, if I was to start breeding, that would be that is what I would do. John made it. Oh, cool. Yeah, I just seen it. You'd posted another video today too, John. I just seen bits and pieces of it. So I'm gonna have to go in tonight and watch the rest of it. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, Rocco was saying it. Retics aren't allowed in New York. I don't get that one bit. Just like Tyler says, it's not like they can survive up there. So. Oh, wow. Interesting. Actually started following me because of the Nile monitor. They almost bought a docile baby dwarf Nile monitor. The vendor was banned from all future. Yeah. There's no such thing as a dwarf Nile monitor that I'm aware of. That being said, I do have some friends that are breeding some Asian water monitors that are fairly small adults. Asian water monitors get pretty good size. And they've been breeding some smaller ones that are really awesome. A really great disposition. Damn it. But yeah, I see a lot of people walking out of Reptile Expos that really don't look like they know what they're getting themselves into with a Nile monitor. And that's not saying anything bad personally. It's just you don't know until you know, and they're a challenge. They're really sweet and easy to work with and all that other stuff up until the point where they start, they're 5 feet long. Now you're doing an enclosure change. Now their temperament changes because their environment changed and they're really unhappy about it, and you can't touch them. They don't want nothing to do with you. They tail whip your face off every time they see you. They can be a really challenging animal. So I know mine has really kept me on my toes the whole time. So see, we'll see you, Jordan. I'm sure you're probably gone already. This is the worst part about getting behind on the comments and all that stuff. You'll see people leave, and then they're gone by the time you get around to. By the time you get around to the comments. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Like I said, you're gonna have to catch me on Facebook and tell me what your real name is and all that stuff, so I don't have to call you Fax. Definitely appreciate you jumping on board, man. Human children, 0 out of 10 would not recommend. Just kidding. Love my kids. Yeah. I agree with that, except for the last part. I am not kidding. I still love my daughter, but I would not have children again at this point in my life for $1 million. One is enough. I've got the good fortune of a few times a year being able to work with 50, 100, 500 kids at a time. And yeah, man, after that, I'm good for a good month or two. Let's see. Clint reviewing the hedgehog spider pie. I don't know, man. I think he may have. I don't know, man. As far as I know, I think Clint's already. I can't think of an animal he hasn't covered already. I bet if you look far enough back, he's probably covered all of it. I would like to see him see the episode. I may look it up about hedgehogs because my hedgehog's a bit of a challenge. I must have missed that. You talking about Wiccans? Would he like pee in a bottle on a live stream or something like that? Yeah, see, I missed that. I've got to go look that up now. Right? Yeah, that's kind of where I am, Brian, too. I've got some questions. Oh, I thought you was talking about the Adam thing that they was talking about. Yeah, we do have some breeders that pop in here. There's probably a couple of them sitting low key in the chat somewhere. So I'm sure if there was any breeder questions to come out, somebody would be around to throw something at it. Yeah, I'm back. I had to take a break for a minute so that I could continue. How many snakes do I have? I have less than 20 snakes, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I'm at 20. I've got two. Let's see, I got 4 retics, got 2 berms. So that's 6. 4 retics, 2 berms, 2 ball pythons, 2 hognose, a boa, green tree python, 2 rough scale green snakes, Florida king snake. What do we got now? 15. What else do I got? I got the boa imperator, the jagpondro. Well, I should probably get her out too, because not too many people see her. Yeah. So we'll say somewhere 16 to 20. There might be 1 or 2 in there that I'm forgetting. I don't have a whole lot. One, because a lot of the species that I keep are kind of bigger ones, and I don't have space to keep a whole lot of bigger ones. And I keep a couple smaller species just to have them. Yeah, they help out with the educational events too. We can have a couple different species to take out on the tables for display while we're wrestling the big snakes around. I've got that. I've got the 2 big lizards, a Nile monitor, Argentine black and white tegu. Then we got Krusty and some leopard geckos and a beardy. So let's see. I am so far behind. Yeah, that's something. Once you, John was saying, like the idea of conservation breeding. That's a goal. That's something I would like to do. So, and once I get it nailed down, and I get a really good system, get the right contacts with the people that we need to make sure that we're doing everything legally. I'd like to start putting out a lot of content on conservation breeding, because the fact of the matter is we're just killing everything on the planet faster than it can reproduce. People talk about the Burmese down in Florida. Burmese are, they're on the endangered species list as threatened in their natural habitat. So about the time we really ramp up killing every one of them we see in Florida, they'll continue killing them. Before you know it, they'll be extinct because they'll be illegal everywhere because everybody's afraid of them. So the conservation thing is really, really important to me. Like I talk about so often, species like the crested gecko that we thought were extinct. And now it's like every reptile keeper in the world has a crested gecko in the house. We can really make a good impact with the captive breeding stuff. Oh, yeah. Ackies have a really good reputation for people that want to keep monitor lizards but don't want to have the massive 6-7 foot Nile monitor or the 8-9 foot water monitor to mess with. Ackies don't get that big, and they seem to socialize pretty well. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen it or not. I've got a green tree python back here. I'll see if he wants to come out and be sociable or not. What's up, bud? You gonna let me come get you? You good? Get you out. There you go. One thing about green tree pythons, if you're going to get them, I highly recommend removable perches. They make them so much easier to work with. Infinitely easier to work with. You've seen how quickly I went in and got him out of there. If he didn't have a removable perch in there, I would have to unwind him, and it would literally take me forever to get him out of that enclosure. You good? Hey. All right, Speedy Gonzalez. Ow. Crackhead. Why is everybody running for the back of the chair? Come on, bud. Everybody keeps running for the back of the chair tonight. I don't know what it is. Are you guys all camera shy or something? Is that what it is? You're all camera shy? And this is another one that some people get leery of. Again, I don't worry too much about many of my animals. This one right here, he's pretty easy. Even after just sliding him off of his perch, He just wants to hang out too. Of course, you getting ready to eat tomorrow, ain't you? You getting ready to eat? You're a good boy. Check your heat. Feel a little chilly. Oh, where are we at? Okay. Well, of course. Anything named wasabi is going to be spicy. Favorite reptile exhibits or zoos? I don't know. It depends on the zoo. I know I got all excited about the fact that there was a Komodo dragon right down the road from me at the Greensboro Science Center. And I got in there and they've got this big enclosure and I'm looking for a dinosaur in there. And one little Komodo they had in there was smaller than Niles. I'm like, guys, I've got bigger than that at my house. Come on, get a real Komodo in there. Big one. But I haven't been to too many zoos. We went to the North Carolina Zoo out here not too long ago. They had a pretty cool reptile exhibit, but what you doing? Yes, that is the damn truth. Humans are the actual invasive species. Yeah. Here I go falling behind again. Oh, nice. Those are really cool. I've been keeping my eye out for a legless lizard. Um, Apparently, they're not easy to find. There's not many people at your expos that have them. But I think a legless lizard would be a great addition to the educational stuff. Because it'll show the difference. Just show what actually makes a snake, and then the difference between snakes and lizards, all of them things. I'm gonna get Lilith out here in a minute. She needs to get a little bit of time out. Those of you guys that haven't seen Lilith yet, she's what's called a jagpondro, and that's a jaguar carpet python and a green tree python hybrid. Right. So it's kind of like part you and part Snoop. It's kind of cool because I've got the green tree python. I've got a carpet python downstairs too, who's really fun. Hey, Gene, how are you tonight? Yeah, my craziest animal is Bob back there. The Sri Lankan that I had out a little while ago. He's the only one that's. Of course, I do have I got a smaller male reticulated python down there, maybe 6 feet or so. He gets all nuts, but he's just really, really high energy. I'm gonna read through these and make sure I'm not missing too much. I'm gonna hurry up and kind of jump to the end, and then I'm gonna get Lilith out. made it to the end, yeah. Lilith, there's actually a story. Lilith has been around the block a little bit. She was kept by an elderly person, and it was in her will that a mutual friend get all of her snakes and stuff when she died. And just because she knew that they was going to get them to good homes. One of those animals ended up with me, and that was her Jagpondro. So, that right. We're going to put you back, and we're going to get Lilith out. Let her roam around for a little bit. Yeah? You good with that? I know. You can get to stay out for a while. Go. No, you gotta go home. Oh, let's see. I guess I can do this with this. Come on, girl. Come on. Come on, sweetie. Come in. Come in. We're going to come hang out for a while. Come on, sweetie. This is a gorgeous animal, but I feel so bad for her. You'll notice as I handle her, the Jag gene in her really stands out. So, especially now when she's just now getting out and fresh out of her house. Come on, girl. And she's really going to get tied up in the chair. Come on, girl. Let's not be goofy. Need to start working with her a little bit more than I do, get her calmed down a little bit, but she's really got really bad muscle tone. Control isn't always there. Let's see. Oh yeah, the green tree's name is Ramses. So yeah. She's a hybrid of two arboreal species and just almost completely lacks the ability to hang on with the back half of her body. The green trees, the carpet pythons, they'll hang on really tight. They've got a lot of control. This poor girl right here doesn't. She just kind of, it's okay. You hitting buttons? That's okay. You can type all you want. But she is a pretty damn snake. She is. If I can get her to slow down for a second in front of the camera. She's just got that really blocky coastal carpet head on her. And of course, this color pattern is just something else too. The camera doesn't do her justice. So just chill out. Where's my cursor? Oh, damn. I'm really caught up on all the... Cool. Check that stuff out. Let's see where we're at here. Oh, damn. It's 10 o'clock already. You guys just kept me on here bumping my gums all night long. Cool beans. Got... Cool. Yeah, she's just an amazing looking animal. But I mean, you can just see right there. She had that little flop backwards and flop forward. She does pretty good when she's inside of her enclosure and stuff like that, of course. She's not sitting in there looking like she's really off. And when she calms down a little bit, she does, normal snake stuff just like she's doing now. But her equilibrium is a little bit off. So. And see, I had a spider, and Rocco was asking what I thought about spider ball pythons. I had a spider ball at one point. Nothing at all like this. There was no issues with that animal at all. If anything, she was just really sweet. Was really mellow. That was about it. So, it's hard to say. And I have heard people, talk about spider ball pythons that have just got really bad neuro issues or balance issues. A lot of people are saying it's not necessarily neuro. It's because of a deformation in their inner ear, which controls the equilibrium and so forth, which could make sense. I guess that would impact the muscle tone too, because it would, affect the proprioception and where they feel they need to hang on and where they don't and all that stuff. So, but I don't know. I don't know that I would deem this snake disabled, because she can do what she needs to do. She can eat, she can hang out, and she gets out and she explores when she's relaxed. When she gets keyed up, she just doesn't really react all that gracefully. But when she's chilled out, she does pretty good. So, but she can be a little reactive. But she's just going to live out her days here. We're not going to be breeding her. And she's just going to hang out and enjoy herself. See? It's that little pop backwards. It's like she overcompensates. She catches herself going too far one direction where she doesn't want to go, and catches herself and just overcompensates the other direction. So I got a really good shot of her face right now, so I don't want to move. She's gorgeous, man. When that face comes up in the enclosure, she's a beautiful animal. When I first seen the bin open up on her, man, I was just like, seriously? Freaking gorgeous. Here she goes. And you can see that tail of hers. She has zero control over it almost. You can watch just so you can kind of see what that jag does. As soon as her tail flops down, just going to flop flaccid down in my lap. Now she's going to make a liar out of me because her tail's hanging on now. There she goes. So, but she's not going to be climbing anything anytime soon. But She's a good girl. There you go. Come on, focus. This would be a really good time to have my really freaking cool camera working instead of this cheap ass webcam. Thank you so much, capture card. Let's see. John was asking what my tattoo is. It's a black dragon with the words "Expect no mercy, give no mercy." A mindset from another life. Yeah, okay. Are we ready to get you back? Crazy girl. You did so good. Can get you back home. There you go, girl. Get back in there. You coziness. You're good. See, she's still sitting there with her nose in the glass up there, like she didn't want to come home. Oh, let's see. Let's see. It's my favorite movie or book. Oh, wow. Yeah, I think the book that I've read the most in my life is one called The Goten no Sho, as written by Miyamoto Musashi in feudal Japan. And it's a book of strategy, kind of similar to, Sun Tzu and all that other stuff, but Musashi. When I was training back when I was young, while I was still living in the martial arts school and all that stuff, I just meditated on that book and studied it so much and practiced out of it. I've probably read that book 500 times all the way through. And it's just one of those where you gain a different insight from it every time you read it. You always gain something new, which is kind of cool. I don't know about movies. See, I don't know, man. I'm one of those people where you ask like favorite foods, favorite movies, stuff like that. My favorite movie changes. It just kind of depends, after I've watched it 2 or 3 times, it's not my favorite movie anymore. I find something else to watch. Here recently, I've been watching a lot of World War II stuff. You guys probably can't even hear me because my microphone's way over there. But yeah, I've been really going deep into World War II stuff here the last month or two. Yeah, I was with the 101st Airborne Division, who has a really good history. Over in Europe during World War II. Anyway, so it's been interesting. Not only not only from a historical perspective, but from some parallels that I see today. People are people, whether you're talking about Germany in the 30s or 2023, people are people, and they do the same dumb shit, and they do dumber shit quicker in larger groups. So kind of explains American culture today. I watch enough stuff to make me worried that we stand to repeat history in some things. Hopefully we don't. Hopefully we learn from some things and start getting along a little bit better and start respecting the truth more than we do. But we're in an interesting time. In an interesting time in society. So one thing that I can say that I'm always going to emphasize, regardless of which side of the fence people are on, is just make damn sure that the things that you base your beliefs on are true, and you don't just believe them because they make you feel good, because they give you a sense of community, or because they think you're going to make your life easier because of it. There's a lot of people out there that are bullshitting you, bullshitting society in general, trying to sway opinions, and we have got to make sure that whatever we believe is based in reality and not in what somebody else wants you to believe for their own benefit. Cannot emphasize how important that is. So, let's see. Get off my soapbox. Thoughts on the misconceptions of snake. I think these misconceptions in general can be harmful. Oh yeah. Yeah, people are afraid of what they don't understand. And it kind of goes, kind of hand in hand with what I just said. People have been trained in this country to respond to fear. Fear is what motivates people to vote for assholes. And idiots and demagogues and goes down the line. But it's not like it was 200 years ago where the opinions that a person had of snakes came from their interactions with snakes. It didn't come from the glowing box in front of their face. And that's why it's so important that we keep doing the educational stuff, because we're all taught from a young age that, don't touch the snake, it'll kill you. Snakes are poisonous, they'll kill you, and all this stuff that you hear. Well, it really throws somebody's worldview for a loop when, they walk into a classroom or out into a park or something like that and see, see a 10, 15-year-old kid with a 12, 14, 16-foot snake around their neck, and you just see everybody working with them and relaxed and happy, and the animals are happy and everybody's good and nobody's dying. It's so important that we keep up that stuff, which is why, like, the worst shots that people are taking at us are the educational program bans. That shit can't fly. Not even a little bit. Let's see. Doug says he teaches first grade and every single kid loves his boa constrictor and they're all obsessed with snakes now. That's awesome. I'm sure half their parents freaking hate you. But that's good. Because it makes the parents feel pretty silly when they go out and they see their kid jumping on a snake and going, I'm giving it a hug. That's so funny. I need to find the video clip. I've got it here somewhere where Cody brought his 20-foot female reticulated python out to a summer camp with us. And there was There's like 4 or 5 kids on it. One of them was just screaming to his grandmother, so excited he was petting the snake. So cool to see. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Some snakes you should be afraid of. I mean, that's what I tell. I've got a bunch of guys at my day job that are terrified of friggin' snakes. And I'm like, well, if you don't know what you're looking at, you should be terrified of it and stay away from it. Leave it alone. Yeah. So let's see. Man, we still got 40 folks on. And it's after 10 o'clock. We've been on over 2 hours. We got 40 folks hanging out with me, talking about a whole lot of nothing and bringing snakes on. So that's pretty good. Anybody really quick have any video suggestions? I'm going to try and do one tomorrow in between feeding. I know one that I want to do that I started talking about at the beginning of this was about kind of emotional snake states between snakes, and I was going to use Bob and Athena both as examples because they're like polar opposites still. So that might be the one that I do. But if you guys have got any other requests, any stuff that you'd like to see coming up pretty soon, let me know. I've got a list, kind of iffy about stuff. I don't want to repeat too much of the stuff that I've already put out, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll get some good stuff out. I need to get another series going pretty soon too. So, but if you guys have not already, let's see. Miles, are you talking about Niles? Yeah, I could probably do some stuff with him. Very most harmful misconceptions about snakes. It just got me thinking about 3 different directions, talking about the most harmful misconceptions about snakes. There's a lot of ways I could go with that. It would tie into conservation, ecology, and stuff like that. That'd be a good one to start thinking about. Yeah, I think maybe it's going to be a lot easier too. As soon as it warms up and I can start taking the animals back outside again and having more room to work with them and talk about them and stuff like that. Plus, I've got my audio fixed. So when I go outside now, I've got the lapel mics that I can use, so I can run around all over the place, set this camera up on a gimbal. The audio will be great. You guys will be able to hear me. And we can talk about wrestling with the snakes outside and all that stuff. So that'll be a lot of fun. And I'll have Niles out there as well. Taking him outside and letting him run around. But okay. Think about doing puzzles with Niles. See, that's the thing. I've never done anything like that with any of my animals before, so it would be a learning experience for me as well, which would be cool. I should probably, learn how to do that stuff. But yeah, it would be kind of cool to start training him. He's really food motivated, so I don't think it would be too. I don't think it would really be too hard to train him. He's an intelligent guy. But, yeah, and I've seen people use the puzzle feeders for their snakes before. These things. And Kai was talking about it. Yeah, man. See, in the summertime, it's one of the reasons why I'm working on losing a little bit of weight because, man, when I start dragging these snakes around the backyard in the summertime, man, it kicks my ass with a quickness. I can't even talk. I'm sitting there panting and trying to talk, and it doesn't work well. So. Yeah, I could tie in some of the US ARC stuff again. The thing on the Chris Coffey situation down there is that stuff is tied up in court now, and as soon as things get into court, they pretty much mum's the word from that point forward. Nobody wants to talk about ongoing investigations or ongoing court cases and stuff like that. So they've got things going on in court relating to the Holy Thursday massacre, but everybody's just kind of being tight-lipped about it right now until things start coming to conclusion, investigations get done, whatnot. We had wasn't too long ago, Daniel from US ARC Florida was on a Saturday night live stream and spent a lot of time talking about that. So, but yeah, there's some really good points in there about how we can cover our asses with our animals, protect ourselves, and put ourselves in the best possible position when these crazy ass laws start coming down to our own respective states. Yeah, Brian was talking about the target training when it comes to snakes. I could see it with lizards. Snakes, I probably will never target train any of my snakes. I mean, just like he says, it's so much easier to manage a snake's frame of mind than it is a lizard's. A spicy lizard is hard to keep up with because their behavior changes second to second sometimes. And you're going to find some of them, like the ones that some friends of mine have, where they're the most trustworthy, mellow animals in the world. But you got others that are just, you trust them 1 second and something gets their attention, and yeah, they they change their frame of mind pretty quickly. But let's see if there's anything else that I want to throw on real quick. I think we got everything covered, man. Got the US ARC stuff, got to hang out with the snakes for a little while. You guys can all catch me on the Facebook page. If you're not already on there, man, send me a friend request. I respond to all the friend requests on there. I just approve them all, unless it's obvious it's a bot or a porn bot or something like that. If it's obvious, then I'll delete them. But I try to approve everybody on the Facebook page, try to follow everybody back on Instagram, try to answer all the questions in the comments on the videos and stuff like that. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, do so. And jump on the Facebook page if you got any questions or suggestions and stuff like that. And we will see you guys. I'll go ahead and live premiere the next video. I'll put it out on Facebook when it's coming out. And we can hang out and chat again then. Until then, it'll be yeah, I don't even use my personal Facebook page anymore. I check it maybe once a week tops, and it's typically in and out. Most of the time, I don't even mess with it. My family and friends are my reptile family and friends, so that's where I stay. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go get some rest, get ready to feed tomorrow, and clean a couple enclosures and continue working on this camera and see if I can get it set up for next Saturday. Really awesome to see you guys. Thank you again for the super chats. You rock. All that stuff helps immensely. And we will see you guys next Saturday. And have an outstanding rest of the weekend. Good night, guys.